My fiancé, Julian, was obsessed with purity for our wedding. He insisted on a strict no exes policy. I don't want any ghosts from the past ruining our new beginning, he'd say. I agreed, even though it meant uninviting my best friend from childhood because we dated for 2 weeks in high school. Julian vetted every name on the list like he was the Secret Service. On the morning of the wedding, as I was getting my hair done, the wedding planner handed me the final seating chart. At table 14, tucked in the back, was a name I didn't recognize, Valeria Russo. I asked Julian about it while we were taking first look photos. He stiffened, his eyes darting toward the parking lot. Oh, she's just a cousin from the Italian side of the family. Very distant. I forgot to mention her. During the ceremony, as the priest asked if anyone had cause for objection, a woman in the back row stood up. It was Valeria. She didn't say a word, she didn't scream or make a scene. She simply walked into the aisle holding a toddler, a little boy who had Julian's exact chin, his curly hair, and his distinctive green eyes. Julian turned gray. Valeria wasn't a cousin, she was his other life. He had banned my exes not out of jealousy, but so there would be no one in the room who might recognize her when she inevitably showed up. I didn't wait for the priest to finish. I handed my bouquet to the toddler, told Valeria she deserved better, and walked out of the church in my sneakers. For our 10th anniversary, my husband, David, surprised me with a stunning vintage locket. It was heavy gold, intricately engraved, and looked like it belonged in a museum. I found it at an estate sale in the city, he whispered, kissing my forehead. It reminded me of you. Timeless. I loved it, but the hinge was rusted shut. He told me not to worry about opening it, that the beauty was in the exterior. I decided to get it fixed as a surprise. I took it to a specialist jeweler who worked on antiques. He spent 20 minutes in the back before returning with a strange expression. The hinge wasn't rusted, he said, handing it back. It was glued shut with industrial adhesive. He had managed to pop it open. Inside wasn't a photo of us, but a tiny 256GB micro SD card taped to the gold. I went home, heart racing, and plugged the card into my laptop. I expected a digital montage of our decade together. Instead, it was a massive archive of folders labeled by date. They contained thousands of screenshots of David's secret life. He hadn't bought the locket. He had stolen it from a woman named Elena. The card contained their entire 3-year history, flight itineraries, photos of them in Paris, and a legal plan to divorce me once our youngest turned 18. He used the locket as a gift to hide the evidence in plain sight, thinking I'd never break the seal. I cleared the card, replaced the files with a video of me waving goodbye, and glued it shut again before putting it back on his nightstand. My sister, Elena, was the family martyr. She was a high-powered attorney who sacrificed everything for her career. She missed my graduation, my engagement party, and even our father's 60th birthday because of last-minute depositions and emergency filings. She'd frequently call our retired parents in tears, asking for bridge loans to cover her firm's overhead during slow months. We all felt guilty for her stressful life. Last weekend, she visited for a rare Sunday brunch and accidentally left her iPad behind. As I was moving it to the charger, a notification banner appeared. Your Uber is 2 minutes away from the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. My stomach dropped. I opened her location history. She hadn't turned it off. For the past 3 years, every business trip to Chicago or DC was actually a 5-day solo binge at luxury resorts in Maui, Orlando, and Aspen. She wasn't working. She was vacationing on my parents' retirement savings. An hour later, she called me from her office, sounding exhausted. I'm so sorry. I'm buried in paperwork. I can't even breathe, she whined. Did I leave my iPad there? I need it for a court filing. I took a slow sip of my coffee. I have it right here, Elena. Actually, I'm looking at your Uber driver, Carlos. He's waiting for you at Disney World. The silence on the other end was deafening. I'm sending the screenshots to Mom and Dad now. I hope the churros were worth their house. Marcus and I have been grinding in a windowless garage for 3 years. We were 24 hours away from signing a merger with a tech giant that would make us both overnight millionaires. Marcus was the face, charming, polished, and beloved by investors, while I was the one with the bloodshot eyes, coding until 4 a.m. To celebrate, he took me to a high-end steakhouse. To us, he said, clinking his crystal glass against mine, the dream team. Halfway through dinner, his phone buzzed incessantly. He excused himself to the restroom but left his smartwatch on the table. A message popped up from our lead investor, Sarah. The offshore shell company is active. Once he signs the IP transfer tomorrow morning, he's legally out of the loop. The full $10 million payout goes straight to your Cayman account. He gets nothing but the founder title. See you at the signing. My heart did a slow, heavy roll in my chest. When Marcus came back, he was smiling, talking about the vacation he wanted to take us on. I didn't say a word. I just nodded and finished my steak. The next morning, at the lawyer's office, Marcus pushed the contract toward me, a gold pen in his hand. Let's make history, buddy. I didn't pick up the pen. Instead, I opened my laptop and ran a pre-written script that wiped our entire proprietary server in 10 seconds. As the "System Purge Complete" notification flashed, I looked him in the eye. I hope that $10 million covers the cost of rebuilding from scratch, Marcus, because as of now, you own exactly 0 lines of code. My brother convinced my parents he was a tech CEO in San Francisco, but he was actually living in their basement the whole time. For 2 years, my brother, Leo, told everyone he was the founder of a rising AI startup. He'd fly out to California once a month, posting photos of the Golden Gate Bridge and fancy office buildings. He even sent my parents dividends from his company, checks for $500 every few months. My parents were so proud they told the whole neighborhood. The truth came out when my dad went into the basement to fix a leaking pipe behind a false wall. He found a fully furnished studio hidden behind the storage crates. Leo hadn't been in San Francisco. He'd been hiding in the house for 24 months, using a green screen for Zoom calls and Photoshop for his travel photos. The dividends he sent? They were taken from my mom's own retirement account after he stole her login info. When confronted, Leo broke down, saying the pressure to be successful was too much. My dad didn't care about the pressure. He cared about the $40,000 Leo had drained. Now, Leo works at a local car wash and is legally barred from touching my parents' electronics. He has to hand over his physical paycheck to my dad every Friday at the kitchen table, just like a tenant paying back a debt he can never truly clear.